It was a busy time at the wharf. There were lots of shipments of stone being sent out, and all the engines were working hard to get them sorted. Luke, the little engine, had been called up from the quarry to help out. He'd never been to the wharf before and was enjoying it.
It's a nice change of atmosphere from the quarry,
He said.
much nicer than seeing nothing but blue stone all day.
Duncan, however, was not pleased with the arrangement. In response to this, he did what he did best: grumble. Why couldn't Sir Handel or Rusty do this? I'm already doing passenger runs in the evening, and that's more than enough for me.
Does he ever stop complaining?
Luke asked. Not in the many years I've known him, said Scarlowy. At this point I think it was an intentional design element by his maker, he chuckled. Later, Luke was waiting for crates to be loaded into his trucks. Duncan was shunting nearby and wasn't paying attention. He swerved into the siding and shunted Luke under the crane's arm, just as it dropped the crate right on top of him.
Oi!
Cried Luke.
What was that for?
What are you looking at me for? Duncan snapped back. You were clearly in my way. And he puffed away, leaving Luke at a loss for words. Later, Luke was at the water tower talking to a foreman when Duncan puffed by. Oi, you lazy slacker, he shouted. Get back to work.
I'm only taking on water.
Well, stop talking to that idiot with the ridiculous hat and get back to work. My grandfather knitted me this hat. A few days later, Luke confided his grievances in Thomas.
I swear, you'd think he does it just to annoy others.
No, he's just built that way, chuckled Thomas. Though if you want to keep him quiet for a while, I know a way to do it. He whispered the idea to him.
How will you do it?
You'll see tomorrow, Thomas grinned, and they both casually went back to work. The next day, Duncan was resting at the water tower after taking a train when a foreman walked up. There's an extra big load of stone to be taken to James at the transfer yards, and you're to take it. Why me? Can't Luke do that? He's too busy organising another train for Scarlowy. Pah! Why do I have to take orders from you with that stupid hair? Duncan backed down onto the train, while Thomas and Luke watched from a distance. He tried to pull the trucks away, but they wouldn't move. Come on, you silly things, he grumbled. But the trucks still wouldn't move, and they soon began to tease him.
Silly old Duncan can't pull a few old trucks,
Giggled one.
Probably held down by complaining all the time,
Laughed another. This made Duncan crosser still. Come on, you let go! Oh! Moaned Duncan. Thomas and Luke had seen the whole thing and were beside themselves with laughter.
So how'd you pull this off?
I asked Larry to set the brake on the trucks. He already wanted to get back at him for insulting his hat. What are you two doing over there? Get me out! While Luke went off with the stone train, Thomas got the cranes and lifted Duncan out of the canal.
Well, well, well.
Chuckled Luke as he passed by.
Looks like you're going to be getting some of that rest you've been complaining for.
Duncan said nothing. He just sat in silence. Some may think this means he'd finally change his ways, but as you and I probably know, some engines never change, and Duncan is certainly one of them.